That's going to this over here, boom, and then pop, and then pop, and zoom in. Add some gradient. Let's make our defocused. Pop, 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 pop. Beautiful. What is good, Lone Syndicate? You're always the first one here, my boy. I appreciate you so much. How are you? How are you feeling? I'm about 80%. I'm climbing back up bit by bit, piece by piece. I'm wearing an overly large shirt though. Feels baggy, but I do want to show you something, man. Check this out. Okay, so first of all, okay, so despite us having like a primordial dark magic sword, and I kind of knew this because, you know, there's a lot of writing on the wall when you're trying stuff, but we have a fucking primordial Ragnarok dude. Also, the thing that it says here, which is basically melee damage fires a ranged projectile. That's true, but then it says attaches a sticky bomb onto them. That is bullshit. Not true. Lies. Annoying also. Also, that effect, the melee attack at range thread that it fires, should basically ×2 your damage, making this actually a really good melee weapon. But the projectile that it fires isn't so neuter that it's basically pointless. And it's just sad. It's just sad, man. Because there's no way to really do range damage, but here comes Swordsplosion. But a little bit, a little bit. I think I'm gonna have to reshape some things in a weird way. Yeah, because basically in order for Swordsplosion to have enough of a bite to kind of matter, we need essentially like an elemental skill of frost damage, and basically when you switch weapons. So normally we're rocking this, but say there's a ranged enemy, then you want to pivot over to this. But that doesn't really work as well because this one's purely cryo, and then when we switch weapon things, I think we lose our enchantment. So we're kind of stuck a little bit like that. So I think I need to move that frost thing somewhere, maybe here, and put melee damage here or something, because melee damage on this is actually not that necessary, so maybe that'll work, but that'll kind of fuck up everything else. Probably, I don't know, we'll see. I might just leave it as is. But we got a primordial Swordsplosion ×3, okay? And actually, this, well, I still don't know if Swordsplosion scales off of melee damage. I would hope it does, but I have no idea. I think it does. I think that like the Impale, it does. We can actually test that. I don't know if it will be an easy thing to test, but we could try. But yes, if we use Swordsplosion, we stick it on sticky, and we activate our enchantments, we actually do a pretty sizable amount of damage. We do this as well. Granted, we don't have like the most, we're mainly built for melee, but the fact that this still is able to pack a punch is pretty cool. We're going to keep doing that. Eventually, they're going to detonate, and yeah, it ends up stacking up pretty nicely. In fact, I didn't try that yet. I don't think that would work, though. We could try it real quick. I just want to slap on the, yeah, when we do melee damage, it technically, we can regenerate our clip. I don't think that will make it so that we can attack infinitely, yeah. We'll need to, like do that, melee bunch, do this, and then melee a bunch, and then do that. Actually, that might work in a weird, like, fate. We'll try that one more time. I don't know if that really plays, but it kind of works, you know? But yes. Losika says, yes, you do lose enchantments on your current weapon if you swap. Yeah, so I think that's what we need to pivot on, because I do notice that that's the problem, is that, like, when you get into second wind state and you basically can't reach an enemy, you're like, well, guess I'll die, and it just sucks. But, granted, again, like, when... And also, there's still that, like, even though we've took off Insane, I thought that was, like, a big thing, which it is. Playing on Insane makes it so the enemies are hella resistant, so that you basically do nothing if you don't do the damage type that you're doing, especially if you're at Chaos level 35, which, by the way, we currently are on. Yeah, essentially, I still got to points in the chamber runs where, like, you're just doing nothing, like you're super acting at a loss, and it's actually pretty horrible. But yeah, what's good, Matism? Matism says, I'm here. What's good, Matism? It's been a fucking millennia, buddy. How are you? Oh, I didn't even think about that. We could actually swap on to the spinny blade and get this popping off in a different way. I'm curious how that will work. Let's see. I like, again, a build still works with Krieg stuff. It's just this, the Reaper of Bones takes too much damage, and we can't overheal to such an extent, which, well, actually, I think Reaper of Bones takes off a percentage of your health anyway. Also, we want to do this. Melee, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. Melee, 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 shoot, shoot, shoot. I think they detonated anyway. I wanted to detonate them all at once, but I don't think we'll be able to do that necessarily. But that works. That one's fun. By the way, this is not a build. This is just like trying to have fun with Swordsplosion, because like, yesterday I wasn't able to really use it because I didn't really know how to build it. But yeah, also this is not the best build for it. We're still kind of like predominantly into melee. Although granted, we're kind of split because there's not too much value to be had in Graveborn besides Reaper of Bones, Breaky Fingers, and also healing from spellcast, which is actually quite nice. But yes. I didn't want to actually switch off of Reaper of Bones, and because we're doing instances of melee damage with our spinny blade, I'm wondering if that will actually play. So by the way, guys, we're just going to run in Chaos Chambers today. And we're going to switch to Sticky, by the way. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, and we're going to light them up. Melee. What happened? Why did I die? What took place? We got one shot. Feels great. Why isn't the spinny blade? Yeah. Damn it. It's kind of working, even though that thing's hitting like the fastest shit, but it's still not happening. Anyways, it kind of works. It's good for range damage. When you're in fight for your life and you're chucking a bunch of three swords, it can kind of get you a second wind. I don't know if it's better than just this though. And then this just detonating a bunch of like projectiles that will summon Executioner's Blade. I don't know. But I do think we also will try to get. I needed to get a better version of this because. I think it's just fun. I wanted to give people two main weapons to use, and this is a good weapon. Also, if they ever do buff, I hope to God they do the Ragnarok weapons, so that they're doing actually like good damage base for their projectile that they summon, considering that's the whole gimmick. And if they took off the ability for it to fire or to lunge, I would be in love. But also the HUD's fucking broken again, dude. Oh my God. I don't know why. That's the one bug that's like permeated permanently within my save. I have to like save and quit just to make it happen. Anyway, let's run back our normal build and I'll show you guys what's up. Although we're gonna make a whole video about this still, but a little bit redundant. Okay. What's good, Crazy? Also, what's good, that guy? What's good, Buddhism? If I didn't say hi, hello. I hope you guys are having a lovely day. Thank you so much for stopping by. How have y'all been? How's your day? I realize I want to get back to us doing like challenge runs, or not back. I want to get to the point where we're doing like challenge runs. Although there's still so much so much like fun and goofiness to be had in builds. And part of me does want to do like builds, but like just have a different lens. Like I'm tired of having to be almost forced to use Reaper of Bones because of prior commitments. But yes. Also, let's put this away. Where's my one that gives me health? There we go. And we got that going. Also, I got a little bit better of a class mod. It's not great, but it's something. It gives me this. A little bit more melee damage and gun damage or spell damage, whatever. And also, we got this, which is, more gun melee nonsense. I want one that's elemental, but, sometimes we don't get nice things. But let me show you guys what we do on a base, which I'm actually pretty proud of. But again, when you get into Chaos Chamber, shit don't happen as well as it should. Because, yeah, there's when you have an elite modifier going as well as other stuff, it's just crazy. Also, Axiom. I think that's how we said it. Axiom says, "Hey, Grim. I know. I see. You've been here constantly, Axiom. Your name is such a. I don't know how the perfect way to say it is." Axiom says, "Hey, Grim. Have you watched the video I sent you yet? What video was it? I don't know. I don't mean to come off as pushy or anything. I'm just curious about what you think of it. What is it? Is it the anime video? Is that what you're talking about? Because yeah, I'm not. I didn't watch it because it was quite long. I breezed through it. I heard a nice voice man. I thought this is sweet, but also, it's one of the things where like I appreciate when people send me things, but I hope people aren't upset if I don't fully consume them because I just don't have the time. I spent the whole day. I recorded 3 videos today, and then I started editing them, and now I'm almost getting ready to like edit the monster video that is this build, and kind of trying to piece together how I should say it. And yeah, so I'm a little bit busy. But if that's the video video you're talking about, then I've seen a little bit of it, but it was 35 minutes, so I couldn't watch the whole thing. But I did check in, and I honestly, the other thing is that also I've never watched Evangelion. I know a lot of people love it to bits. It's one of those. It's in that archetype of show or like time that to me, like a lot of people go and say like go watch Bleach, go watch One Piece, go watch classic Naruto, stuff like that, and they're all like every time I go back to see like to dip my toe in the water, it's like really old animation. So for me, it's a little rocky, you know. Lone Sing, it says, I'm doing great. My day has been great. At work was bad. Wasn't bad today, and I applied for an extra shift tomorrow. Plan on doing some drawing later tonight. Man, you just getting after it. You seem like you're just checking things off the list, and you're like, hey, let's get some more at it. That's a lot. That's a lot. Some people are like, hey, I'll enjoy my weekend. You're like, fuck it, fuck me up. Buddhism says, I got back into Soul Calibur because I got inspired. Inspiring quote of the game: play the game and stop playing to impress others. That takes away from the fun within the game. Oh, absolutely, man. Like, yeah, that's something that people said a long time ago, which I've always agreed with, which is like if you have a horrible time playing on like hard mode or normal mode, just play it easy. Like, what are you doing? This is a fun experience. Like, if you're not having fun, stop it. Stop it. Granted, sorry, if you're not having fun and it's giving you nothing valuable in return, then stop it. Whereas, like, hey, you just don't like your job, but it's paying the bills and you have a kid or something, yes. Fucking chew through the despair a little bit until you can find something better. But, yeah. But, yes. Let us run over here and activate this. Go! Break my fingers and activate this and melee a bunch. Did I equip the right melee weapon? It doesn't matter. Things die quick. Quite quick. And again, beforehand we showed that even if we don't have that weapon, we still do good. It's not like we need that weapon in order for it to be good. It's just that weapon makes it faster and like does AoE, so it's our only other issue. And again, I'm starting to think, well, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we'll do that for the beginning of the stream. It might not be the most fun thing, but yeah, it should be the last refinement that we need / want. Let's use spawn mode. Oh, we're not using this, right? We're using something else. We could use this, sure. Oh, yeah, Reaper Bones works too. Also, we need Spinny Blade. Spinny Blade is also fine with us. It's not better. Well, it's kind of better. It's because our one problem is ranged enemies, which is quite shitty for us. Also, stop it. Break fingers. Do this. And melee, and then it'll start to rev up and start to get instantly killed in the same way. Beautiful. I don't think that's contagion. I know people like there's now like a contagion can get insane, but it has variability. That's not contagion. That's just because we're doing a lot of elemental things. Well, actually, it might be contagion, but I thought contagion was based off of like enemies being around you. But we killed them so fast, I don't think enemies spawned in. But yes, yeah. Axiom says, time to read the patch notes as I haven't played in about a week. Oh, the patch notes? Yeah, I have a video up about that, Axiom. Yes, there's basically the buff. You'll probably read them regardless. But yeah. Loadsticket says, yeah, although I enjoy my free time, I find myself with maybe a bit too much at times. So I like to earn extra money to play. Yeah, it's like you're taking the excess time that you have and investing it in the quality of having a better free time with, better resources at play. Makes sense. Axiom says, I'm a very fast reader, so I'm just gonna read the patch notes and say, yeah, absolutely, it's fine too. I also did pretty straightforward to the point. But ladies and gentlemen, let's start doing the one last thing we need to get done, which essentially we were given a weapon that I would like to please tell me the HUD works. Yes. Oh, good. We were given one weapon that's kind of out of alignment with this melee build. I'm giving people a lot of crazy good stuff because you guys were kind enough to give me a lot of good stuff. Like we have a bunch of volatile Ragnaroks, or sorry, primordial Ragnaroks and such that have like pretty good stats and such. such. But is this it? No. We have that. That's primordial, but it has vampire on it, which vampire makes it so that you don't get a benefit from your shield stuff. This is the one. So yeah, we have elemental efficiency on there. We have frost damage on a roll. Actually no, that's a different one entirely. But still, we got that one. Echo damage dealt. Yeah, this is the one. So we're gonna make that not toggleable. Perfect. Is that very close to the thing? It should be fine. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna roll that. We're gonna roll that a bunch. Don't let me make sure I copy that save before I do this, or else it's gonna be a mess. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I am a little nervous, truth be told, because I'm about to embark on not only editing this build video, in which I'm gonna have to be like, hey, by the way, here's the nightmare hell that kind of is melee, but also not be like too, if I'm overly negative, it's just gonna make people not want to play with the build. So you really need to like show people that it can like chew through shit, but then also be honest about like, if you make every room elite and you take every chaos debuff, you get to the point where like enemies just are so resistant that it's just like, guess I do nothing. and there's no way in the game currently to have like an exhaustive amount of health. Even with the health that we currently have, it's still not attainable. Like we have 10k health. But the necklace that we have that basically lets you like overheal, that has a cap on it, which is stupid, because it's like, why the fuck you can have a shield that's like 24k health, but with this stupid necklace you can only have 10k health, even though you're healing a shit ton of dark magic. It's silly. But yeah, so yeah, let me do full screen. Let me go over to my thing. This. Also, let me just do one of these. That's looking fine. Where are you? This. Why is it not pulling up the damn thing? Why? This. There we go. Copy that. Go over to this. Delete that. Paste this over here. Copy that. I'll go over here. Do this and do perfect. And we're going to jump back over here. And now we are ready to commence the reroll. We're basically looking for consecutive hits on the melee weapon. I don't know if it's actually the best for that one, because it's it's a little bit fast attacking, so it should be still pretty good. And I think also just with the algorithm of damage, I think that's one of the few things that actually sequences into like feeding directly back into your melee, which I think this is like if there was a way for your melee damage to like completely be sucked into your melee or your gun, then yes, but there's no, it takes like it's on like a base damage scaling thing, so you're not actually benefiting too much from shared damage with melee in a way. But yeah, where is it? I'm not sure. Should we sort by type or rarity maybe? I don't know where it is. Is this it? Yes. Luckily, it's not overly rolled. Perfect. Let's see. Poison damage, fail. Mission failed. It's the same one? Yes. Lightning damage, no. We're looking for consecutive hits, which is one's going to be taking a good bit of time. Also, Lone Syndicate, what is your current game that you're focusing on currently? Because I know you were getting after it for in Wonderland for a little bit, and you were making a mage build, and you were trying some melee stuff, and then I think now I'm curious about what. Oh right, no, you're playing those other games. What do you have any like? Are you just moving through them and you're just enjoying them, or is there like a point? Because I guess that's actually a fucked up statement by me, but I guess that's how my brain weirdly thinks. I need like a purpose in the game. If it's just like, yeah, you just go through the story, I'm kind of like, yeah, but then the story ends and then I feel aimless. Or at least I can choose when I'm done, you know, with builds or with Genshin or something. Maybe that's toxic. I don't know, maybe. Unlucky. Let's go ahead and reroll this again. Is that the one? No. Because I changed it. I guess I lost it. Where is it? I must have ran past it. There it is. Spell damage, no. Gun damage, no. Oh, we don't have any more points to spend. Also, Axiom, is that correct? Like, was I right on that assessment of you being the person that suggested me that video, that like anime thing? Because I like those a lot, by the way. Those like philosophy kind of perspective, nerd writer kind of esque videos that talk about like kind of like the weird emotional pull of certain shows, you know. And again, it's like there's a lot of stat in anime, because just anime is kind of looked at as kind of like a medium that is both cringy and weird, but simultaneously actually like really thoughtful and interesting. At least within its ideas and concepts and such, and also why people are attracted to them so much, to those games so much. Also, you know what doesn't make any sense? The gain 30% melee damage versus, what is it? It's like on action skill start, or I think it's just like built-in melee damage. Yeah, there's like a built-in melee damage one that's like fighting badasses and such. It's just, it's on the same level, except it's not like half negated. It's like, that's the weird thing. Let's do this. I keep losing it. Gun damage. Fire rate. I mean, yeah, man. There's a lot of ones like you get fire rate on melee kill. I wonder how good that is. Yeah. Maybe actually for this one it won't be that bad because there's a lot of like weird, the more like damage instances you have, the better it will feed into like sequencing essentially. Also, while Blizzard is activated, gain 20 of frost damage. Again, what? That's such a big ass. Like, why is that's not balanced at all? Like, what do you mean? You get frost. You get 50% frost damage for a minute or 10 minutes just when you activate an action skill, and that's also yeah. What? Also, there's barrage. You get 3 barrages. Like, it's just mental. Makes no sense. People are crazy. I passed it again. Nothing. Oh, I keep passing it. Also, Lone Syndicate, or Axiom, anybody. Has anybody seen the, what is it? The world's finest assassin reincarnated as an aristocrats? No, actually, that's not even right. It's the world's finest assassin reborn in another world as an aristocrat, which is just like, man, you need to relax. Whoever did this, who hurt you and why? Why do you demand so much of people's mental ear space? Which honestly, hypocritical to say that from me. But yes. On spellcast, I don't think they'll stack. Actually, would that be better output? 35 on activation of action skill, 50 frost, and then another 20? I suppose that would be better. I guess it's not better than the 40% melee attack. Does anybody know if that stacks? That's weirdly, I'm not sure if that's the case, because we have basically can only one on activation of action skill like elemental damage and melee damage, because there's 2 different types. Those stack, right? I think they stack. I want to say they stack. I hope they stack. We could test that. I hope, yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to test that, but on spellcast frost damage, granted, maybe. I'm not sure if I want to do that, because maybe there's a build that we can make where it's like this is cryo or all elemental activation. Because I know all elemental activation I think does stack on top of frost. Yeah, and then melee. I just don't know if melee damage this one stacks on top of, because I feel like it's very similar. Although maybe that was just not true, but I was hearing it everywhere. Like I keep saying that, but that might be the case. But yeah. Ba 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 ba. And we're dropping this, and we're going over to the big screen again. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this is kind of topical within the current thing that's happening in my life right now a little bit, just my environment, not with me. But would you guys, if you guys were making, I guess it's hard to phrase, but if you guys were making good money, I guess is the way we could phrase it. Let's say we make good money. Would you be interested in moving to a new city if it meant you had the prospect of like leveling up in your corporate company per se, or your profession, I guess? Are you guys built in that way? Because do you feel like that's a way that people are wired? Some people are like, they make enough money and they kind of feel like they've made it. Oh, I got it immediately. Look at that. Sorry. Consecutive hits, that's what we wanted. We're gonna put that in here. Where are you? Oh, I didn't put you in my hand, so I don't know where that is. Is this it? No. Where is it? Is it the first page? It is. First page. Yes, we're gonna mark that as that. We're gonna look for Valor when we save, quit, and do all that. But yeah, basically, my question is, I guess, if you had the opportunity, like if you capped out in your current profession, or like say if you worked, I don't know, at a police station or at a corporate situation, or maybe working at Amazon and pissing in bags or whatever. Would you, and you couldn't basically work your way up to a higher position? You basically reached whatever cap is for that position. You've reached it. would you be like, hey, now I can, invest in other things I like, or maybe just stabilize, maybe just chill out for a hot minute, because it's a lot to constantly be trying to climb higher and higher and higher. Yeah, because I feel like some people in the pandemic were like, they had like this rejuvenated thought process of like, wait, I could die tomorrow from a disease, and I've like dedicated 80% of my life to this job that like was ready to dump me immediately, basically. And then now they're like, hey, let's like, yeah, we still need to do work and whatnot, but I'm not sure this is gonna be my main purpose in my life, so yeah. Also, what the heck? Sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen. I thought I was talking to nobody. What the fuck? my YouTube chat's not moving. Shit. I seen here. I looked at my playback because I try not to look at my face because I'm like, fuck. But I was like, man, my chat's it's dead. It's just not moving. Pain, I guess. Your boy has just he's peaked essentially. But now I just see that my fucking chat box is broken as shit. What the absolute fuck? I'm peeved. You guys were like, hey, Grinn's asking a lot of questions, and like no one's fucking replying to him. Or like he keeps asking more. What the I apologize. Okay, Jesus. In my defense, I was like, man, it's happened. I'm shit in the bed. It's horrible. Okay, let me catch up on chat. Sorry, guys. Golly. All right. Lone Singlet says, yeah, although I enjoy my free... All right, we read that. You're reading the patch notes. Matism says, oh, Grin, have you played Surge 2? I beat the game, and I absolutely love it. Surge 2, it sounds familiar. Is it more of like a challenging kind of game? Yeah. Lone Singlet says, at the moment, I'll still do my melee playthrough of Wonderlands, although then I'm not playing Day to Live, Reincarnated, and yeah, so yeah, it seems like you're like trying to hold on to 6 games at once. Impressive, frankly. Yeah, computer crashed. I'm back. Oh no. Whizga00 says, ayo. Lone Singlet says, I have not watched that anime, but I've seen clips of it in the queue. Just haven't gotten to it. Honestly, I've been watching more wholesome anime. My soul might become too pure, so to counter. Yeah, no, it makes sense. It makes sense, man. I'm the same way. I'm the same. I watched a lot of like goofy, fun, wholesome shows, and I was like, all right, let's watch this show that I'm pretty sure is dark. And dude, there's a moment in that show that's so fucking dark. It gets so gross. It gets so bad. It's so bad. It's hard to even like rationalize. Acting says, I'm not very familiar with Japanese media. For example, the only anime I've ever watched is Cowboy Bebop, so I have not heard of it. Oh, interesting. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. So I feel like you're more the connoisseur, the Oscar-type anime, the one that's philosophy-wise and interesting and like concept-wise is incredible. I'm more in the like just pure medium of it that I like a lot. So yes. What is good, Roger? Roger says, it's the world's most elite assassin, born with proverbial silver hair, spoon upon their tongue, and prodigy within the field of assassination. And at the tender age of 14, that would be spoken about. I was about to say, have you seen it? Roger, that scene with the orphanage, I can't. It's too much. I almost dropped it. I was like, I can't handle it. My poor soul is just breaking. Although I will say, yeah, we made a whole video about it today that I can't wait to edit and talk to you guys about it. But also, we're going to start a new thing on our Share Your GRINN channel, where instead of like our So I Watch series is kind of like just an amalgamation of so many things. Like it's like here's when there's going to be a season 2. Here's my thoughts. Here's also a good pitch for the show. Too much. And I had this feeling like when Lone Syndicate, this idea popped into my head just because I've encountered it a while ago. But Lone Syndicate was like, you should watch this one show. It was like this cool superhero villain kind of show. Anyways, so I wanted to watch it, so I wanted to know what it was about, and I went to Google it and didn't really find good information, went to YouTube search it, and also didn't find any good information. I almost wanted a video that was just like, this is what the show generally is, if you like these kinds of things, you'll like the show. And it didn't exist, so I was like, oh, I want to do that, and a lot of people do like essays almost about like talking about anime, which I love, but I wanted to I wanted to see if we could we could diverge both of those shows. So it's just like, hey, this is me excited to talk about the show and wanting to talk to you guys about it. And then this is like the elevator pitch of the show if you're curious about it. And that should get people in the door and feed it into that series. But also, I've never edited that video before, so it'll be interesting. Wish me luck. I'm a little worried on how I'm going to format that. But yeah. Lone Secret says, I'm rewatching an anime called Shineta, a boring world where the concept of dirty jokes doesn't exist, so balance can be restored. What's it about? What's it about? Is there a white-haired girl who has like superhuman strength? Let me know. Roger says, because if it is, I've never seen the show. I would never look at something like that. Anyways, Roger says, I would say yes. One has to be prepared to follow opportunities wherever it may occur. To become too attached to any one area limits potential. Interesting. That's an interesting perspective. In the context of my current happenings in my life, a person who is close to me, a family member, we'll say, is like moving away, and I won't be able to see, maybe nephews and nieces anymore. And I'm like, that's shit, shit. So it's a little bit of a sorrow note, but I don't know. To me, I also wonder, Roger. I don't know if. I know a lot of people say that, where like you need to go explore the world, and I wonder if that's a character trait. Because yes, seeing the world is important. I think people should go on a vacation and see like Rome and Italy and even places that are not so touristy. It could just give you a greater brevity of the world. But to move into a new place, I feel like for me, I'm kind of wired in such a way that like I'm very content. I'm a very like harmonious person. Like I don't need change. I don't really, I don't mind change. It's kind of nice sometimes, but I find I'm much more of again, harmony is what I would strive for in my life, not like excitement. And I know a lot of people like love excitement. They like to go and see the world and all these things. And I'm like, I think that'd be nice, but like, I think it'd be nice in a burst. I don't know if I'd be that way. Like, especially if I had like a good thing going, like a job, etc., that paid really well and that didn't demand too much of me, and I was content with it. I don't know if I would like move positions in my life to do that. I think you need an ambition, and I don't necessarily think that needs to be your job. I think you just need to have something that you can feel that you're growing in and evolving in and taking pleasure in. Not even pleasure, just an ambition, something that lights a fire under you and makes you want to push forward and succeed. And I feel like, for a lot of people, they find that in their job. But I also wonder if the job is not mechanically made to kind of give you a sense of ambition that kind of monopolizes that sense, instead of actually giving you something that you can feel proud of and that values you back. I guess that's why money exists, right? But Lone Singer says, I'm rewatching that show. Oh man! Every time I read your name, like I can immediately forget. Axiom. There we go. And then I start to like, and then I get it out of my brain. Axiom says, depending on your profession, on how you think about people, need that service. But honestly, I don't know. Yeah, that's a fair argument. I think it changes person to person. I think that's a good way to think, because I think Roger's right, but I think there are people who are just built in such a way that they're like, I don't know, I want to start a family and just make sure they're taken care of and try to make sure I can teach my kids something nice, rather than, I'm not going to have kids until I'm 40 and I need to dedicate everything into my job. I think there's different wiring. But I also wonder if that's just your ambition, like this sense that you kind of need to achieve this kind of thing. Because some people find that within children, because they're like, holy shit, I'm now in control of a life to some extent. And other people find that within, feeling value from their work, etc. We need to go into valor. Find valor. Sort by type. Do I pass valor? I did not. Valor, where are you? God damn it. Swift, a Torg. There we go, valor. It's one of also the thing has to catch up. What's good, Nanny? Nanny says, yeah, this is one people were like, Grin, you what the hell? Matism says Surge 2 is basically a Dark Souls, but advanced technology. I think Surge 2, Ashley was telling us about it. She was saying that like there was, yeah, it was, I think I seen a clip of it way back in the day. And I don't know, to me, it didn't really spark too much in me. It looked like, but also that was back when it was kind of clunky. And I don't, as contrary to the games we kind of play, I don't like games that lock you down. Like when you hit an animation, like when you attack with like a melee, your character's like, okay, I'm fully committing to this swing. And if there's some sort of like, you can clearly tell that the boss is doing some sort of like fast attack, you couldn't like quickly hit back and like dodge out of the way or something. I don't like stuff like that. It makes me feel locked in, like my brain wants to do something that it can perceive fast. That's why I like FPS is quite a lot, because usually they're not limited by like animations shit, so you can kind of move as fast as your brain can perceive, which I like. Roger says, Cowboy Bebop is honestly a good place to start, and one of the finest anime, in my opinion, even more than mainstream now. Roger, is it that good? I think everyone says it's that good. I realize it's a loaded question, okay? But I wonder, because oh man, like I'm sure it's great. I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure it's just fucking peak. But at the same time, I do think that a lot of people, like, there's such a thing for nostalgia. You know what I mean? And like I remember, people were for the longest time were talking to me about how fucking peak Bleach is, and I think Bleach is probably great. But the first 2 episodes, it's like a fucking generic ass show. It's just like some guy who dies in a really like odd way. It feels kind of soulless at the beginning, and maybe again, like when you slowly start watching episodes, you start developing feelings. You're like 200 episodes in. That's also the other thing. These shows are huge. Granted, Cowboy Bebop is not, so it's probably able to pull you in and make you excited very quickly. But yeah, I always wonder how much things are maybe nostalgia. You know, I don't know. I don't know. But also where? Okay, no, these are all load in. But yeah. Axiom says, by the way, Grin, later, near the end of the stream, can I try to lag your game as much as I possibly can? No, you cannot, Axiom. My PC, I need to, I think, update drivers because it already has crashed on me. Also, what happened to the music, dude? I'm sorry, I was just sitting in silence there for a minute. What happened, dude? Did we get like an ad? What happened? Why is everything breaking? We could just loop this. Let's not loop this one. This one, maybe? Play that one. Alright. Sorry. Silence freaks me out. Says something about my mental state. I'm not sure. But anyway. We'll do this. We'll do this. And we're back. Oh, let's see if we can find the thing before we lose it again. Is that it? No. We want consecutive hits. Nope. Nope. Not that one either. That one, right? Yes. Yes, that's also primordial. Perfect. Game's gonna lag a little bit. Perfect. But yes, Axiom, I am worried that my PC will crash again, and it's like, what are you doing to me? It's not a good thing when your PC hard crashes. Like, it's just like, and then kills itself. It's bad. Also, I need to stop going to this fucking person to like test, because it's just, he's a bad, like, it's a horrible gauge for damage. Because like, you just get in the chaos chambers and you fight an elite enemy and it's like not even close, you know. Granted, yesterday was going better. I think it's also because I was taking far too many curses. The one run I was doing. Fluff says, all right. Within the washroom, what I missed? Our chat was frozen and I didn't see that it was that. Yeah, why is it taking such a long time to update? Like, I can see Lone Syndicate's message, but it's just. It's barely, in fact, Lone Syndicate's message didn't even go through. What the hell happened? Why is Lone Syndicate's message not existing, but it exists there, but not on the chat? What the fucking hell is happening, man? God damn, did Lone Syndicate leave the message, or am I just blind? Damn it. Anyway, sorry, YouTube sucks ass. Especially YouTube added a raid feature, kind of push, whatever it's, yeah. But it's like the most complicated thing ever, and it's apparently to help minimize from hate raids, which was like a 0.1% of Twitch, and it's like, what a way to throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, what the fuck? Anyway, sorry. Lozika says, yes, there is Grin. There's a white-haired girl who is obsessed with a dude. That show is so fun. It's such a creep show, but it is so fun. Holy shit, dude. I hope we get another season of it. it's crazy. It's like, especially I like how they finally, like, there's a waifu archetype, but she is like crazy. Like it to me, and also they play with that idea of like her being superhuman, which is kind of like the idea of like what happens if the person that you're really interested in or is really interested in you is not only possessive in a way, but also has the means to like be stronger than you, and yeah, and yeah, it's just it's a weird show. It's a weird show, but it's also very, very fun. Is this the one that we? Now I can't tell. I think this is the right one. Melee damage, yeah, action skill cooldown, perfect. I wanted to see how this one played. Probably the same as everything else, but we could try running it for a little bit. Also, it doesn't have the lunge problem, which is quite nice. So yeah. Also, I actually haven't done this. Where is it? Nope, not that. This one. Yeah, I think we just need to hit him with this, and then we'll be good. Although we won't have that activated, so I guess we'll just hit this first. Do this, 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 this. Oh, we didn't empty our magazine either. Go, 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 go. And now we can start mailing. Boom. Woof. Shit. I don't know what happened there, actually. I don't know. Oh, right. Yeah, we weakened him. We weakened him, so one shot, baby. Fluff says, doing the finishing touches on the build solo, or would you like some jolly cooperation? Yeah, at this point we probably can. We can jump in at this point. Yes, but let's try that one more time, because I feel like that was some weird fuckery that I'm not sure if that's normal. Although, granted, I've seen people do this, I just haven't done it. But it's the, like, apply the wet status, and we do cryo, so in hindsight, it should work. Let's do this. I keep switching the wrong weapon. We'll get Reaper of Bones, break my fingers, do this, and melee. No, yeah, see, so we should, like, annihilate the world, which just should happen. Whether it will or not, who knows? We could try or hope. Let's go into the Chaos Chambers. I'll invite Fluff because he wants to play. And I want to play Fluff, frankly. Okay. Also, this is kombucha. It's actually pretty good, although kombucha is all, like, even though it's good, it's kind of like fine. I'm not sure if someone can truly deeply love kombucha. It's kind of like an experience. Best way I could describe it. I'm not sure it's a good experience. I'm not sure it's bad. Makes my tummy feel more harmonious, which is the most alpha shit I've ever said. Oh, man. Fluff says Surge 1 and 2 is pretty neat. The sequel is more refined and speedier. Okay, but it's far from the devs that also made Lord of the Fallen, which has been known as the clunkier than Dark Souls. Wow. Okay. Bleach didn't take very long to get going and was great to watch from start to finish, even the filler episodes. Yeah, well, again, that's to me your opinion, frankly. But for me, I got 2 episodes in. I got like 2 episodes in, and I was just like, man, they have not got me. They have not gotten me on the hook. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe like I am the viewer that I think is well, I don't know. But I just know that, like, I think that's why isekais and shit pop off really hard. Even though people are like, I hate it. It's too much. I get it. But, yeah. Matim says, want a break from the ads? What do you mean? What do you mean? What's happening? What do you mean? What happened to ads? Axiom says, my laptop isn't having a fun time operating Tiny Tina's Wonderland, so I might not be able to do that anyways. I mean, with that being said, though, Axiom, you're probably creating a hate relationship with this game with your laptop because you've been breaking the game. So, yeah. Roger says, it's hard to say. I do not know how much my outlook on Cowboy Bebop is born for nostalgia or not. That's fair. That's fair. It's also, yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like, I mean, it's like, no one is not biased, like you cannot have an unbiased opinion, so it's like you can't be, no one is both against or for nostalgia. It's like a passive thing, It's also, who's to say that nostalgia isn't born from an idea that you encounter when you're young and draw an attachment to, Axiom says, or no, Matism says, Axiom's laptop right now. I am low key, not having a good time right now. Low key? I think it's high key. It's like, kill me. Stop it. Why have you done this? I am going, should we do the feature run? Yeah. Yeah, we'll do feature run. Bop, 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 bop. Raja says, I do not mind filler too much, but when it comes to Naruto, that is an anime I shall never rewatch on occasion of the sheer amount of filler. Yeah, no, or sheer account. I will not rewatch on account of the sheer massive amount of filler. It makes sense. But what do you call it? Yeah, man, I don't know. To me, like, I think filler should be good. which I haven't seen Naruto, so I shouldn't talk up my ass like this. But to me, like, I think the best kind of filler is stuff that like Overlord does. Kind of, again, bad filler in my opinion is like when you spend like half of the second season and like, hey, guess what? Here's here's this lizard thing. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? Why are we here? What? I'm so lost. We want less of that. But mind you, if there's like a John Wick like filler arc, etc., or like a better example is when how do I put it? There's an arc in Overlord where you basically see Sebastian or whatever his name is, the butler guy. You see that he how do I put it? Like he meets a person, he like develops some sort of like kinship with this person who's been through a lot horrible shit. And it's great. It's great. It's like super wholesome. It's lovely. It's kind. It's sweet. I like it. Also, it's terrifying and kind of fucked up and sad. But also, it's like there's moments where like I don't know. It just builds out the world and stuff like that. Like almost like you want filler to be like the John Wick 1. You know what I mean? Where it's just like here's the world building. Here are these cool assassination rules. Here's how you know what you can do. Here's what you can't do. Here are some variables that we never talked about, but maybe are something that the main characters had for a while and kind of give some more bang for your buck. Stuff like that, you know. Raja says Naruto had good filler, but it had the quantity was I hear that a lot too. I hear a lot of what do you call it? Naruto having an incredibly vast amount of filler. Fluff says I enjoy the filler episodes in Bleach. Yeah, I don't know if I have a problem with filler. I think I have a problem with, to me, what like I feel like, I don't know, maybe I'm a part of the problem. But if I feel like I know a show, like if it's interesting to me, really quick, like, you know, like they establish a cool idea, premise that I gotta find out the rest about, you know, whereas the Bleach one, I'm not sure if it ever did. It was like, hey, he's fighting demons, he's an exorcist. Okay, I mean, I've seen kind of this a little bit in phases, and I don't know if I'm in, you know, I'm not sure if this is for me, which is fine, didn't have to be. But I also think, with that being said, though, I think if I were to push through like Bleach, I think I would like it a lot. I think I would grow to enjoy it. I think it's just required, like a lot of the like the weird demon mask shit I'm into, but I'm like, do I want to wait 5 fucking seasons or something to get into that? I don't know. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have that in me, fam. Losika says Grin broke chat. Maybe I should just read off this. Maybe I need to get like better vision. I have pretty good eyesight, but like, yeah, things are tiny. Yeah, what do you call it? How sad like eyesight being purely genetic is? At least it seems that way to me. I look at a screen like 2 feet from me. I've always done that, and I've scratched the shit out of my eyes to the point where I break my blood vessels in my iris. It's bad. And I still like go to the doctor, and maybe when I get to like 30, there's just like whatever fountain of youth I'm pulling from is just gonna come and wreck me. I don't know, but I've had friends who like, yeah, they have the same like care and diligence, and it's bad. It's bad. They can't see for shit. It's terrible. I don't know why I said that. I don't know why I brought that up. Something or other. Oh no, my enemy. All right, plan B. This. Also, we can use the Swordsplosion. I forgot where it was. There we go, and detonate. He's still alive. Oh, we're not on Sticky. There we go. Sticky is a necessity. Also, it's hilarious because enemies just get thrown in the air. It's great. Let's do this. Yeah, so the build is, I feel like, acceptable. It's not perfect. I would like more options to do range damage, but it is what it is. We'll do that. Boom. Reload. Snapped. Done. This. Axiom says, based off of my viewing of Cowboy Bebop, it's a textbook example of great storytelling centered around one theme and message. That's nice. Raja and Axiom. How y'all like the Netflix movie, this adaptation with Kumar or Harold, whomever it is. You love it? Was it just like, yes, because I'm so happy. I'm laughing because it's a kombucha. It tastes weird, all that. Yeah. Imagine if they did that to Bleach. Imagine. What's the more beloved anime? I think not Cowboy. What's the? It's not Cowboy Bebop. It's another one. It's like a girl with a guitar or something. She's like an alien. I don't know. People also say to watch that one. I don't know what it is. It's like a classic 80s-ish anime kind of thing. I don't remember what it is. What it's called. But it's equally as loved and fun. Run! Come here, you son of a bitch! God damn you! Gearbox, what the fuck is your problem? Why have you done this? Granted, maybe I could shoot my melee weapon. I guess we're losing our damage proc for this. And detonate. And we'll slowly melt you from the sky, my friend. Lone Singer says Annie, the white-haired girl, is nice comedic character. Like every time she opens up, funny, lewd, or terrifying happens. Like there's the one scene where she puts, and she calls in the cook and gives it to the main character. My favorite one is where she fucking puts him in like a weird like suplex thing and grabs his legs. And I was like, man, if you want to tell like someone that I'm fucked. Like when some person is able to grab your legs above your head is on their shoulder like this, and you're spread wide and like this, they can just body snap you immediately. And then of course she walks away and like spits out like a fucking piece of metal, like a bullet. And you're like, what the fuck is this? And the main character's looking like, like, oh my god, I feel so violent. It's brutal. Absolute brutality. Fluff is a man on a mission. He's like, we got things to do. But I don't know if I'd recommend it to everyone because people watch TV for different reasons. That's true. But also, I feel like that's the thing. You gotta live your life as if you're like people are gonna want to hear what you gotta say, or else you're just gonna be a person who's a wallflower. Oh please, oh god, why? This is the best. We do so much damage and then we do nothing. I think as soon as you take a knee, your enchantments go away, and that's why like roguelike actually may not be the worst thing. Actually, fuck it. I don't care about this thing. We're just gonna run it. All right. We're not gonna play the stupid thing where we have to stay in the zone. Run! You. This. Damn you. Climb. This. There we go. This weapon has higher base damage, so it hits a little bit harder. I'm just actually enjoying the fact that it doesn't lunge, but also I don't know if it's better. I think it might be just because it has kind of range, and it's not like clunky. Because even though it has slower fire rate, I think it actually might have more. In a weird way. Raja says, Naruto had a good filler arc. Alright, read that. Lone Singer says, Raja, do you recommend the filler episodes of Naruto about ninjutsu? That. That. Raja says, I do, but I love the Orochi, and I found it to be quite funny. I've never watched the show, so I missed that thing. Out of all the things that I would want to like watch when I was younger, I feel like there was a lot of good options, but I also feel like it had to have been Digimon. I don't know what it is. Something about it, I'm into it. I'm also, again, I have always liked the summoner archetype, and that's kind of it. But Pokemon is like a weird shit. Where like you have 15 Pokemon or something. And all of them can't communicate with you. It's pet. It's like a pet relationship. It's weird. Whereas if you're, no, I have these underlings that are my equals, my commanders that fuck shit up. There's some sort of weird nightmare hell anthropomorphic weirdness. I feel better about it. Let's sing. It says, all right, I just got a 5-star from the standard banner. Guess who I got? Gene, and more Gene. I could see into the depths of your soul, Lone Syndicate. And if I'm wrong, I told you a lie on purpose to make you think something. I don't know. Thank God that electricity arc is popping off, because there's a lot of like multiplying enemies in the chaos chambers. Also, we're able to maintain our heal. It's great. Bop and then bop. Granted, well, actually, yeah, the game should be harder because we have 2 people. Well, actually, not really, no, because Fluffy also has a good build. So, yes. Bulwark Buddies I find to be a hellish nightmare. We're not taking Bulwark Buddies. Bulwark Buddies, for whatever reason, I think gives people, like, stupid resistance, and it makes everything horrible. Horrible. Let me catch our chat. Roger says, it is so that Netflix adaptation left a taste so foul within my mouth. I would rather have feasted upon acidic laced vomit. Ooh. Then endure it a second time. What episode do you make? How many episodes do you make into it? Was it bad? Was it that bad? How deep did he go? I'm gonna guess, everyone guess in the chat, how deep did Roger go into that series? I'm gonna say episode 3.5. So 4, halfway into 4 and you're like, I'm out, this is too much. I'm gonna say that. I feel like Roger could hold in there that much. He's like, maybe, you know, this could come around. Okay. I don't know, but also I forgot. Now we'll look at Fluff popping off. Come here, you. This, and this. God damn you and your stupid shield scaling nonsense. Oof. Axiom says, I have not watched the Netflix adaptation of Cowboy Bebop, but what I do know is that it is very different from the original in both story and theme. Axiom says, for melee, you just want a higher base damage possible because most of the base damage is coming from live wire anyway. Oh, I see. I guess that makes sense. Lone Syndicate says, oh yeah, I just saw the scene she bites off his pants zipper and is hotter to him and reaches the cloud. Yes. We don't need to go into the specifics, especially in chat. Yeah. We can just hang out without going into details, especially now that it's pretty obvious I watched the show. So, probably don't throw me in the bus, but what I'm saying, please. Especially my friend. Why are you doing this? Roger says, I endured the full season of the... What? So that none could utter. You did not give it a chance. That's fair. I wouldn't be the same way. I would say fuck those people, but yes. But that's mental. Oh god. Oh, we got a couple minutes to do some damage before it gets bad. All right, let's go. Let's give ourselves a couple seconds. We could use this, I guess, in the downtime. Detonate. Fluff going in huge. Fluff, what are you doing to make that tether? Are you also using the Zappy Zap weapon? Because it actually connects with your bird. That's weird. Very weird. Unless your bird was doing it. I think you were meleeing and it connected on your bird as a tether point. Odd. Very odd. Did we get anything good? We got a peg leg and we got a bread cutter, but no element on it. Whew. Lone Syndicate says, yes, Grin, I got Gene. Seen in the future, boys. I'm a witch. Or a war, whatever it's called. I don't know. Yes, I got Gene. She is now level C5, and I don't know how to feel about it. It comes with a main. I'm still missing Diluc. Here telling I'm going to get C6 Gene before C1 Diluc. Hey, I think that's it could be good, Also, the one standing still, when you melee, does that count? Because oftentimes you're like, especially if you're using the one like lunge melee, does that count as not standing still? It's 50%. Oh, I didn't even know that was a thing. Weird. I didn't even know that was the prefix. So you can get 50% critical hit chance, dark magic efficiency, and lightning damage. I thought you had to pick one. Huh. That's awesome, actually. That seems really legit. Granted, no one's going to stand still, so that's kind of like we'll stack the advantage despite why is this even a thing that exists? What are we doing? We got a Swordsplosion. We're going to try to get this. Fluff says, yes, Livewire Chain is scaling off of your melee damage. So it means the boosts more of your melee than myth rank. Oh, I see. Okay. My Wyvern does technically do melee damage. Weird. I don't know why it was, why it did the proc though. Because he didn't attack it, So I think he procs the chain sometimes. Oh, I see. Weird. But the chain doesn't proc when I have my spinny blade out, and that does melee damage. So I don't think that means that all melee damage is considered that, right? Let's get started, Grin. Didn't mean to throw it. I enjoy talking about anime sometimes. My character. No, I get it. To me, I'm very much in the camp of like it's weird, but everyone's into weird shit, you know, and I think it's fun. But also at the same time, I'm also painfully aware. I've always been aware of what like a third party would be like thinking about when, like, you know how everyone has like the people call it like what is it called, like PR training, essentially. Well, I've always had that, not because of any training, but because I've always went to the comments of any media I've ever watched, videos, you know, memes, whatever. I go to the comments always. So you start to develop like a voice for what the internet or a person or a group of people kind of have a tendency towards. You're not 100% right all the time, but you do start to hear stuff like, hey, maybe we should go, hey man, maybe let's do a redo of that. Because that sounded hella not what I meant to be, you know? So yeah, Axiom says, I don't know what you have tested for melee, but the Fatebreaker for shield regen survivability still might be good. No, it's very good, Axiom, but I think you lose out on a good bit of damage. I would think it, like, I thought of that as well. I tried, my first thought was there's a shield called the, it's like an homage to Firehawk shield, essentially, it seems like, where when it becomes full, you get 6 procs of a Nova, and when it becomes empty, you get 6 procs of a Nova. So, and also when you're close enough to an enemy, they'll just drop your shield immediately. So I thought, oh, okay, here's an idea where you can like yo-yo your thing back and forth. Maybe they would stack on top of each other. So you would detonate the break, you would detonate the full with Fatebreaker, constantly regenerating your shield, and you'd basically be able to create Novas. But at least when I tested it, they haven't scaled up Novas to be appropriate to level 35. So Novas still do like 3k, maybe 10k with some weird elemental scaling, maybe, but not the mass amount of damage you need when you're playing at a higher chaos level. So yeah, and there's no shield that benefits from like on shield gain do X, you know. We could test that for a little bit, maybe the last 30 minutes of the stream. I wouldn't mind giving that a whirl, although I don't know if I still have the Fatebreaker sword. I should. I think I do. Yes, I do. We could test that, yeah. Yeah, to me, maybe because I was also testing this on chaos level insane. So yeah, maybe that was like making the Nova just hit for pennies, and that may make sense because I think we were fighting an enemy that may have been resistant to it. Greatborn shield, no. Spell damage, melee conversion, no. I think I have 2 of the same here, yeah. Also, Fluff, you might want to look at those rings. They're quite good. Where is it? Like I'm about to reach max capacity. Yep. Do. We have this. No. Actually, that one actually seems interesting. Some melee damage, something. Oh, Greatborn spell shot. Spell damage ability. No. What about this? No, Berserker Greatborn. No. Critical hit chance stuff. Berserker and Spore Warden. That might be good. Got a bunch of companion damage one, a little bit scattered, but not bad. Not the worst. Give me that. Give me that gold thread. Wherever you are. There we go. And this one. I think we got all of them nice. Right? Yes. Ba 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 ba. Is the last of the things. Berserker Stabomancer. Ooh! Please. No, sorry, we don't need. Yeah, sorry, we don't need Berserker. Yeah, if it had the one thing, I might use that, but no. Lightning damage and critical stuff, no. At least Stabo, something. Also melee damage, but no. Sad day. Dark magic cloudbringer stuff. Actually, I don't think that's that bad, but we'll chuck it anyway. Yeah, alright. I'm ready to go! Axiom says, or the Punisher for insane bursts of damage for bosses. Was that the punch something? Along with the spell blade for faster scaling. Yeah, no, I think a lot of people do the spell blade stuff. I still felt like even though I invested a lot in spell blade stuff, I didn't find I had the same damage output that I currently do now, which is like I break things in 2 hits, you know? Also, it's kind of a little odd. Granted, you do have a ranged option because you have so much spell damage, so I guess that kind of can be a way to offset that. And in some ways, that's probably good to have, like, you know, 2 types of damage sources. Because I feel like, if anything, I'm weirdly, like, again, like, my Swordsplosion should be doing more, but it's not because, yeah, it's just we haven't built too much gun damage and whatnot. I don't know if any of these weapons are better than the highest base damage weapon. I mean, I don't know. I find it's pretty close. Yeah, especially with the one that we have. We'll do a damage test at the end of this. Let's run this one more time. Yeah, let's do the feature run again. Looks like it says C6 Jean isn't bad. Her C6 decreases incoming damage by 35%, golly, within her burst. And when you leave that field, it lasts 3 hits for 10 seconds. Golly. Also, I was gonna say, how are my Genshin people feeling about the delay being potentially like a month to 2 months long? Granted, they have a good excuse. Not China, Japan and whatnot. I think it's whatever. That place is in a bad way of it. That's an understatement of the year. But yeah, also let's actually use this instead of the blood one, because it's all good. But yes. What shield are you using? Livewire melee scales off of a Spellblade damage buff, but getting the spell damage is hard, so it's probably only worth it if you have enough myth rank, at least for upgrades. I don't know. I stopped upgrading my myth rank. I'm sitting on like a bunch of points. I'm sitting on 113 points for myth rank, so yes. I have tested the Afterburner, and it doesn't really work because Novas don't scale off of any damage type, meaning they really suck. Yeah. And I don't think there's a shield that they've yet to add in the game which has some sort of reward functionality, besides maybe the undead. The undead one, but I also think that one just had bad scaling on a base, like super low. But yeah. Are we ready to go, Fluff? If you're not using the bad egg, are you severely limiting yourself? No, I'm using Axiom. I'm using the one that makes it so that you enemies that are close to you take an amplified amount of damage. That's what I'm doing. I also have the one that does on kill get fire damage, because we're doing such high base damage, I've noticed. And by the way, this is actually like I've tested this. Granted, maybe there's better ways. I'm totally not an expert perfect, but I think I tested with and without, and I felt like we were doing such high base damage that converting half of it to elemental actually wasn't a bad thing, especially knowing the power now of contagion. How good that can be. Granted, I don't want to make a build purely based on that, because it feels like a little... I'm not a big fan of RNG unless it's something that you can mechanically roll the dice on, which granted, you kind of can. Melee damage, Clawbringer. Yeah, no, you can if you have a higher fire rate. But I don't know, to me, I feel like no build, I think... no build, I think, has that perfect gambler's kind of, like, reward of, like, constantly rolling the dice and getting that, like, instant gratification by nailing it. You know, like Clappy, like, because you want to make it so that when you lose, you get better, but not when you lose, you lost. If that makes any sense. Like, I think Claptrap had a build in the pre-sequel that was very much just like no one played him because it was so inconsistent and weird that you were like, what? Why? Roger says, I am being trying alternativity for now. There's absolutely no ready for long into Genshin at a moment until 2.0. Oh, I see. Yeah, so you're just enjoying the hiatus until it comes, whenever it is. Gotcha, fair enough. Makes sense. We'll do this. Oh my god, I'm really weak. Jesus Christ. Do this. Move. Also, I feel like I try to, like, there's a weird lag. Oh god, please don't crash. Golly. But there's a weird lag within certain things. Yeah, like I'm trying to cast my machete thing over there, and it's not happening. This. Where is he going? Do I not have my actions go back yet? No. That's also the other thing that's pretty useful about the other blade that I have. That basically you can get your spell back and your actions go back instantly, just because you're constantly getting the cooldown because you're attacking so quickly and hitting so often. But man, wouldn't it be nice if you could, if they changed like the ranged projectiles to count for your melee thing? So like when you hit someone with a ranged projectile, you have a chance of what do you call it, instantly decreasing your cooldown for your spells or something like that. That would make the game, to me at least, far more interesting. But instead, melee is kind of used as like, no, you have to connect and be like in Dangerland, point blank, when an enemy can just lay into you with guns, to where you're like, this ain't worth the squeeze, man. I'm like in hell right now. Do this melee. Also, why? Oh no, I stopped casting my thing. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. This. Two shot that. Come here, you. God damn you. What happened? What the? Oh, we have 10k health. Are you shitting me? Come here, you. Thank you. Yeah, we have 10k health, and the game's like, do you? Do you really though, idiot? Rude. Rude as hell. Also, what is the damage on this at a base? You think that would detonate a lot of ghost blades on a bad occasion, you know, or on any occasion? Do. As soon as we connect, we'll break that damn thing. Oh, so I forgot. Fluff has been playing the OBJ. I'm in Lost in La La Land. This. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Badly. This. Also, the Executioner's Blade does pretty good work if you have enough built for melee damage. Also, because it has a base scaling, it's pretty good. Look, that thing get knocked out. Bang! Bang! God damn you! So high in the sky. What's good, Mad Hatter? Mad Hatter says there is a crash that happens in co-op they've been looking into. Uh-oh. Don't say that. Fate will be cruel. Mad Hatter says, damn, haven't caught a stream of yours since Let It Die days. Well, good to have you, Mad Hatter. Hopefully having a lovely day. Thank you so much for stopping by. Lone Syndicate says, Genshin is in a stalemate as right now, which could be good for people who need a break and for people who want to get into the game. Yeah, no, I agree. Also, a part of me wonders, because I'm not sure if you guys feel this way. It could just be me, for sure. But I do feel like when, like, it's almost like, you know, it's like, it's kind of like when you're in a pretty kind of a bad relationship and then, like, you're not able to really objectively look at things until you're out of it. I feel a little bit like it's kind of Genshin, you know, a little bit where like, man, there was like, we were just, well, also, we were in a state of necessity, all right? Like, there was no other game coming out, okay? But with that being said, though, I still look at Genshin with reverence, and I love it to bits, and I enjoy it a lot. It's just like, it's one of those moments where, like, man, like, there was not content. Like, and it's funny because, like, at least, like, this is an end game. Like, we're doing this, and granted, some people are getting bored of this, but like, at least we have this, you know? I do think they should do a better job of like using the like the overworld in a way that makes people want to use and engage in the overworld, but yeah. Also, the DLC is not perfect, but like at least this game has a built-in end game that's not Spiral Abyss that seems to be kind of very limited. Granted, again, this game is also new, so give it a couple months, maybe people will be like, I fucking hate the Chaos Chambers, I want to vomit every time I look at it. Maybe. Why? Yeah, sometimes your Ghost Blade just sucks. It's terrible. Go in there. It does aim properly though. I'm mainly just using it to get stat sticks, by the way, or like procs. Ugh. Do that to heal. Come here. I will admit it. It's so great. We're gonna have to do Swordsplosion thingies. Break. There we go. Let me back up. And this melee. Ooh. Activating my action skill did nothing. Oh, it's not. We've just finished the objective. Sorry. I thought we were done. We were not. Come here. Ah. Get those chains going. Easy peasy. Ooh, there's tons of little tiny things. Let's do this. And then melee. Beautiful. Is our blade coming? You know, blade just hanging out. I will say again, killing things too. Oh shit. Come here, you. Come here, you. Granted, I think we do significantly less damage. It's fine. we do significantly less damage when we're downed. I think when you're downed, it cancels all enchantments, which I think is not something that should make sense, or like I don't think that should be happening. Feels like a flaw for sure. It's like, wait, what? If anything, my enchantment should get revved up or something. They shouldn't just get ripped away. I'm about to die. Like, I need the damage, you bastard. You know. Roger says, on PC, I play Final Fantasy XIV, and on mobile, Time Defender, an anime-style tower defense game. Also, well, I actually haven't heard anyone get into those time defense games. Roger, have you? How do I want to phrase this? Not in a bad way. It's just why I'm curious. How did you like? For a person that likes the tower defense games, did you like Theater Mechanicus? Because I feel like that was. I'm not sure. I feel like it's curious to see if people like when things collide, like or you like things separately. Like I don't like when you're trying to do two things with me. All right. But yeah, I'm curious to see what that is. Also, let me throw this somewhere else. There we go. Oh. Also, I do love the like throwing the the ghost blade. I just do think it doesn't have like it almost feels like there needs to be some sort of other thing on it. Like you could like lifesteal. Like if you could get a melee weapon that had something like vampire and your weapon could feed off of vampire, then maybe you could use that as like a heal stick. But I'm not sure if that's how that's gonna be able to work. You know, unfortunately, your melee weapon doesn't take its special unique effects. Granted, that would be kind of crazy for the legendary weapons. Also, that's okay. Thank you for being here, my friend. Fluff says, I never seen bad egg in all my time in this game. Thus far. Really? Yeah, I got a couple bad eggs. Yeah, it's just the one that we have a bad egg here. It's not bad. I don't know if we like now that we're not playing at chaos level intense, or sorry, just intense, not chaos level. We're playing at chaos level 35, but intense. Yeah, we're no longer needing that like dark magic bonus. It's just far better to build for other things. Unfortunately, cryo is still in such a good place right now in the game. Bad Egg is way better than Cursed Wit. It's kind of hard to explain though, and if you use using Stabo, Berserker, or Spellblade, the Cursed Wit is additive with some of those things. Okay, interesting. So you're saying that the damage output is better on the what do you call it? The Cursed Wit? Like the one thing? Interesting. We could try switching to it and see what happens. Go. Yeah, so man, some of these enemies just be like tanky as hell. Yeah, it's like shit. You're just meleeing and it's just like, god damn. We're doing nothing. Elite, making things elite, I don't know what happens, but it makes them like, I'm not sure if it's like latency or just like we're doing disgusting damage and then like we fight them and it's like we're doing nothing. I feel like a baby. Axiom says, also, computer crashed. Something is definitely wrong with it. You got the bad egg from Magic Sploach. Oh, I see, that's what it is. This is a person you gotta specifically go kill. Ba, 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 ba. LeChance! God damn it, LeChance! You do so much goddamn burst damage. Yeah, fucking LeChance. Son of a bitch. Maybe I should just start mailing him. Hope for the best. Yeah, Fluff is kicking ass. Taking names. Do. He dropped his cannonball and a peg leg. It's dark magic though, at least. We're ready to go. I think. Okay. Yeah, we'll try that. We'll try some stuff weird stuff. Axiom. We'll try using the one up. But I think I have a variant of it that I could use. But yeah. And then this, I'm still looking for a better class mod. We have one that's kind of good, but it's more good for like gunplay. It's less good for just like elemental or pure magic or melee. Ryder says, I found Theater Mechanicus to be a chore after its initial introduction that could not be enjoyed upon its numerous returns. It was like a bare bones experience compared to the detailed, dedicated titles. Yeah, I could see that. Also, yeah, I also always feel like those gameplay mechanics, like I don't know, part of me would love if a game used those gameplay mechanics. But they're like, the one thing that I think Genshin kind of lacks is an investment pool that isn't characters. So like the Serena Teapot gave me a lot of hope for being that, but it kind of created a sim simulator. Like if you had like and I always bring this example because this is what I crave dearly in like an RPG game, but no game does it really. I want the investment feeling of like again, it's funny because in Assassin's Creed 2 they did this. The guy who made Assassin's Creed 1 and 2 is brilliant. They accounted for a lot of these ideas, but Assassin's Creed 2 actually made a pretty good argument for like the collectibles and the side quests and all this shit on your map, because there was a reason that compelled you to do it was because you could go back to your like rundown castle and like level up the brick, make things look nicer, invest in like a shop that you could just go to the city and use, but it's in your little like home sweet home place. So if Genshin had that idea of like you had this place that you kept bringing your resources back to and spending it, whether it's Mora, whether it's not Primo Gems, for love of God, not Primo Gems, but something else like Heroes Wood, anything, just some sort of fodder that you could feed stuff to that would give you like something like you'd have a crappy shack that would become like a fucking beautiful palace that we see in Leeway or something, right? I deeply crave that in a video game that has that like investment system for like you're a pack rat. Like you go into the world, you do Theater Mechanicus, you do all these things, you get a currency, you get rewards that facilitate this you coming back and doing that. Otherwise, and I feel like this is the big thing with those events, it's like, especially if you already have a ton of Primo Gems. If you already have a ton of Primo Gems, you're kind of like, what's the point? You know, this feels kind of aimless. Like I already have a bunch of characters built. I like the characters, but yeah, like it's like me. Especially if you have a disposable income, you can build a character in like a week, a little bit less maybe. Given RNG's favor for you, but yeah. Where is it? Where is it? God damn you, man! You're being the worst. It's like locked in there. I seen it. I'm not crazy. There's a gold thread right there, man. I'm gonna lose my fucking mind, dude. Gearbox, for the love of God, we should have a button that just displaces loot, like knocks it around. Especially with how it's like all like with how, again, guys, the only criticism that I have for Wonderlands is that I feel like they didn't playtest anything. Okay, which is actually a kind of a large crit, but I couldn't pick it up anyway. But yeah, I feel like there's so many problems that you should encounter where like, hey, when we start doing Chaos level 35, we start having a ton of loot, or crystals, and then we start having like these heaps of loot on the ground. What? Like, we'll just be able to displace loot and whatnot. Like Melee also. Like, why the fuck are Nova Shields not scaling? Like, what? Why would you increase the difficulty without accounting for that? Anyway, don't mean to be overtly toxic. Clawbringer power, all that. No, lightning, well... What does it do? Converts all companion damage. No. Hydras shift around. No. Berserker and Stab. I'm not getting Stabomancer at all. Just being real a shitter about it. Alright, I'll grab this, and this will be our last one, because I wanted to go test some stuff with shields. But thank you so much for playing with me, Fluff. Got it. So was that good? I'll just check it right now real quick. Where are you? There. Ooh, converts dark magic, spell shot, and spore warden. I mean, honestly, it's not the worst. Fire rate, damage, ability, ward stuff. No, sorry. But it looked neat. Fluff's like, I'll take it. I Fluff sells things. I think that's why he does it. Mad Hatter says, looking for a frost snake sickle with echo. And I have only had one drop with electricity. Any good places besides Chaos Chambers to farm it? I don't really think there's other places to farm it, I think for sure. Most things have a drop rate in the game, but they've just made Chaos Chambers so valuable to where as long as you have a build that can kind of cut through it quite quick, you can benefit wholeheartedly from that idea. But yeah. But I don't know off the top of my head what it would be called. Forgive me. What's good, Sparks? Sparks says, have they added any new end game to Wonderland? Not yet, Sparks, but after the kind of like ass beating the community gave them for like, you know, making the shark thing, I'd hope that they would add stuff to it, because like they made this. The Chaos Chambers are actually like a really good idea. But they also, somebody made the shark thing, and they also gave everybody, like, just by completing it once, you get all of the gear. I'm really hoping that like the final phase of the shark will then, like, if you're able to do that and beat that, you're able to get access to a whole bunch of new legendaries. But man, I feel like they so should have made that make more sense. Sorry, they should have made it so that you could, like, every single week or run that you could do, they would offer more and more legendaries. But also, you can't just like trickle out 2 at a time, or else it's not very good. You have to trickle out like 4 or 5. Or maybe even just 2 would be fine. You just need something that like the community can be excited for every week, and not like, hey, hot fixes that are like hey man, like every hot fix, it's like nice, but simultaneously it's also like, man, there's a lot of problems here that we needed to fix, and like, goddamn, you kind of let this happen, godly, you know. Matt Hatter says, oh lol, okay, hope to get it outside of Chaos Chambers. I'm struggling with Chaos level 20. Yeah, Matt Hatter, what do you call it? There's a build. Also, Matt Hatter, so some people want to get everything by themselves, which is totally cool. But every Sunday over at Twitch when we stream, so this Sunday, we'll be dropping gear for people. So if you wanted to pop into that stream right around the 6 p.m. mark, so 1 hour into the stream, we start dropping gear for anyone who asks. So if you wanted to tune into there, you could send me a friend request on that, and I would drop you some gear. I have a build that facilitates around magic, but regardless of what you're building, you can kind of get by with pixies kind of still being really good, and they can kind of carry you quite far, at least until you can actualize whatever build you want. But also, if some people want to get everything themselves, which is fair, it's totally okay too. But yeah. Also, Fluff, am I okay to go? I don't want to fuck you up if you're in your bank. Jacob says, also, what's good, Jacob? Jacob says, press square to move loot is full. What do you mean? What do you mean? What's that mean? My loot is absolutely, my loot, I've filled up my entire bank, but I also just need to clear it out, because, yeah, you shouldn't, that's the problem. Hoarder, all that. Ladies and gentlemen, talk amongst yourselves for a hot minute. I gotta go use the washroom. Be patient with me. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'll be right back. I'm back. Ooh. Okay, I need to drink my coffee because it's getting a little bit late. Getting a little bit late. I don't want to be staying up too late, man. I'm sick and I'm trying to still recover a little bit. Yeah, not good. Alrighty. What did we want to test? So I wanted to see, this is our normal run with we might not want to use this, because this might skew the results quite a bit, but we'll try it regardless. Also, will you slap on this just to see? Maybe we shouldn't. Yeah, we'll not, because that will skew the results, I think, a good bit, because yeah, sometimes that can go away because we get clipped once and then that's weird skewed nonsense. Let's drop our magazine quite low. So this is with the current build that we kind of got going on. We're going to start meleeing. Bop, don't down me. Don't do it. and killed. So he's killed pretty quick. Again, maybe we shouldn't use the Tesla coil because it makes things hard to notice because things just detonate. But now let's slap on the weapon that's gonna give us when our shield depletes, we get dark magic damage, right? And a bunch of other things. So it's not just dark magic damage. But we're gonna get bonus dark magic damage. Maybe it's gonna be better because we're scaling off of cryo so heavily anyway. That may pop off, which could be good. Also, we could use a little more healing if this gives us it. But yeah, so that gives us a resistance. That's kind of nice. But granted, I don't really feel a resistance bonus. So yeah, but we have the bad egg one. Oh shit! Oh shit! We don't have a good one. Wait, something. It's not as good as the 35%, but it's gonna be a little bit skewed. Can I make this work out? Let me see if I do that. Can I make this the dark magic one? I can! It all worked out. Good. So same thing, we just swap them around. So let's see if this one's good. This one will increase our movement speed, melee damage, and of course dark magic damage. Yeah, actually on paper that sounds much better. That sounds much better. Huh. I'm catching my chat. Matt Hatter says, lol, okay, I was hoping to get it outside of Chaos Chambers. I'm struggling with that. They got the new DLC, that's new. Borderlands needs a lot of filler options. It's true, but also I feel like it's set up to have that. I just feel like they're not trickling out enough. Or I think a lot of people were hoping that, like, again, I honestly don't think it would be that bad if they held true to what I thought was going to be the plan, which was essentially like we have a new thing to do. Like, people are bored of the Chaos Chambers. Hey, guess what? There's this roulette table. It's got a bunch of loot to it, but you guys have no idea how much I was like blown away that by doing it once, you just do the Chaos Chambers and it's infinitely faster to get all the loot. That whole week I was like, they gotta be doing. There's gonna be more next week, right? Like, they're nothing, and I'm like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, what? Like, it was actually a pretty good idea to like trickle out loot because that's what the community kind of really like fosters and like is interesting. Like, the main content for Borderlands 3 was builds. It wasn't like people being like, hey, here's this new thing we can do. No, there's people doing builds and people like finding new ways to engage, and having new playgrounds to engage is of course awesome. But yeah. Lone Syndicate says, I have built so many characters, like I have 4 star characters only, like 4 or 5 cards. Yeah, all the characters now, you're like, so basically you have almost every character built, but you only have a couple 4-star characters built that you haven't fully built. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Jacob says, you can move loot on ground with square. Yeah, I know when your inventory is full you can do that, but what do you call it? I still feel like there should be a way to, like, even if you're just melee something a little bit, for it to like push things around a little bit, because you can't bop it, like, but it bops it upwards. It's almost like your character like grabs it and pulls it straight up. You want to push things to the side so you can look at all the other gear. At least that's what I hope for. But let's see. Let's empty our magazine, and then do this, and then do this. Melee. Well, it's fine. Let's get some stacks going. See, it seems significantly less, even though I wish it was more. Did we do something different? We just equipped a different shield. Yeah, maybe it gives more survivability, though. I can give people the option. I feel like the other one was, yeah, the damage, that all damage dealt, I feel like is better because we do so much elemental damage. I think that sequence is over there. Whereas this one is benefiting our melee proc, but our build is predominantly like a weird elemental hell kind of thing. Fluff says, surprisingly, Stabbo and Graves seem to be one of the rarest class mod combos. I don't recall when I last found one. Me neither, man. I've seen like Graveborn and Stabbo, probably because they're like, hey, it's insane. You know, I'm like, well, fuck off. Okay, excuse me. Why haven't you made this a thing? Let's do that. Let's do this. And now melee. Break my shield. Damn you, break it. Yeah, also, I think we just do a lot of base damage anyway. Our shield wasn't broken the whole time. We couldn't see what happened. So, was our shield not broken the whole time last time as well? We went down, so it should have been back. We'll do it again. We'll run it one more time. Jacob says, we need some Jeopardy music. Or more elevator music. Man, I don't got that cool, like, what do you call it? Discord thing. Elgato thing where you press a button, you get like cool sound bites. They're cute. I would love that. All right, mind you, it'd be a lot to program. I'd be like, oh god, oh fucking shit, it's so much, so much to do. No, I think for that I would invest quite hard. But yeah. Although that reminds me, I still need to look into getting us channel banners for our new channels and like yeah, stuff like that. For the Brothers Grin one, I had a really like a simple idea. I hope it doesn't. Hope the artists that I find on wherever I find them will be easy about making it. But basically, it's called the Brothers Grin, so I wanted to do that. But I had the idea of a bunch of like weird shadows with smiles, etc. But I wanted there to be one that's like a shadow that's clearly like a woman with long hair with like a little sign that says like accepts everybody, actually, like not just dudes, to be clear. And I thought that'd be pretty cute. But yeah, I need to go find that out. And I'm already like, to be honest, guys, this week was actually a bit tough. Yeah, not only because I was sick, but just because I was really getting into that feeling of like, how do I put it? It's a little bit of a big deal. I'm basically trying to create content from the ground up on both of these new channels that I feel like can like gain momentum and actually have a place and actually can do well. Those are like, yeah, like it's basically like if I were to come to you and say, hey, these are the types of things that can exist on this platform. It is up to you to find out what would succeed or have a higher probability of succeeding. But everything else dissolve away. And that's quite the daunting task, especially if you're like, well, that would maybe work, but it would require a shit ton of investment. Maybe not. What about this? And then you constantly have to do that, and eventually you're like, oh man, I just, like, what if I can't find anything that syncs up? And of course, you stay the course long enough and you find some things. Like I'm really, I'm so excited to be putting this type of build down. Because Reaper of Bones, like there's so many times where I could make a much better melee build if I just didn't have Reaper of Bones. Well, granted, also Reaper of Bones is great. I do think Reaper of Bones does have a built-in problem though, that it takes way too much health. Like it's crazy. Like I don't know, I find like this doesn't ask that much of you. Like it only gives you a bonus 20% dark magic damage. This is basically giving you that like way more damage than this. This is giving you more damage on a passive and doesn't have any negative, doesn't like take from you. Granted, this gives you efficiency or life leech efficiency, so it should heal you a proper amount, right? It doesn't. If you like take a couple seconds to like walk away, like just get to another enemy if you're playing melee, that's enough time for your thing just to go away, gone forever, and you're like, what the fuck? Also, sometimes there's a thing where like dark magic breaks, like you reach the dark magic heal capacity breach. Despite there's ways to regenerate like your shield infinitely and have like 12k shield, and it's really hard for you to get 1k shield, 10k shield, sorry, or 10k health. Fuck, shit. Anyway, but I'm very happy to be like putting this build down and then just like having fun with any other thing, because I kind of shoehorn I should not talk too much about like here's a Krieg build, fam, because yeah, it puts you in a little bit of a state where people are waiting to expect that, and then also I want that, but it just proved to be like a rather complicated process, and there's still good answers to the question about that Krieg build, but not great answers to that question, if that makes any sense. It's like there's still no really good answer to ranged melee. The Swordsplosion helped, same thing with like Pixies and Executioner's Blade buff helped, but it didn't like solve the problem even near. And it's just crazy that like the main problem that you have that they should have found within playtesting is what happens when you have a melee build and you're fighting a Wyvern. Executioner's Blade, maybe, sure. What happens when you have a melee build and you take a knee? Well, if for whatever reason your damage gets halved, because enchantments probably go away or something. Maybe it's kill skills. I think it's enchantments that just dissipate. Weird. So I don't know if that's always how it used to work, but anyways. Also, you have Executioner's Blade, which is a chance-based chance. So not only is it a chance for you to critical hit, but it's a chance for you to also it's a 20% chance for you to summon forth a blade. So when you're in fight for your life, that chance can just miss. And it's not like you don't need 5 of these Executioner's Blade to impact in order for you to make a dent. And it's like people have been using this weird like Tesla coil weapon, which is awesome. But people shouldn't have to use this weapon that hits 50 billion times just to make a skill valuable enough. I don't know. To me, I still feel like there's a lot of problems that don't work. Within the melee tree. And granted, you can kick some ass, you can like nuke things like we're doing, but also Chaos level 35 still made things displace so many options, I find. But yeah. Axiom says, what armor and amulet are you using? Well, Axiom, what do you call it? We have this armor, so it converts dark magic into that we're currently rocking. This one I found it was just pretty good overall, kind of. Gave us decent value. I don't have the best skill priority on it. Also, we're just mainly there for Stabo. We're not there for Graveborn, so anything that had Stabo, I would be sitting pretty, essentially. That's what I want. And then also I found that the only other issue that we ever had was not damage, ever. Like as you guys see when we had that one shield on, we were cooking. The only other thing that we had problems with is healing, having enough health. Now granted, this is a damn lie. This is also another thing that's just wrong. When your health is full, healing from dark magic increases your max health. This makes it sound like you have overhealing. That's not the case. What it is if you're full health and you take some dark magic healing, you get like a chunk of your health. You get like a new set bar of high health. Like you basically have 10k health. But even though we're constantly sucking in dark magic, especially with Reaper Bones cooking, also with every one of our damage types being converted to dark magic, we should be healing a shit ton of dark magic. But it doesn't, it caps out at 10k or something. Which, mind you, again, there's shields that can give you 12k. I think I even have a shield on me that I might have. No, actually, I dropped it because, yeah, it was useless being in my inventory. But it was like a 12k shield. In fact, I should, actually, maybe it does exist. Let's see. Where is it? No, I think I dropped it, yeah. But it's like the slide shield. But it basically, yeah, it has like 12k as a base. And you slide and you can repair that thing. It's nuts. But yeah. Let's get into it again. And maybe Reaper Bones would help, because last time I don't know if we had the same things. Let's do Reaper Bones. Let's do this. Break my shield. Break my shield. Please. Break my... Ah, fuck, we'll just keep hitting. Hopefully he attacks. Attack me. He's died just because of... Yeah. Well, a shield's not broken. We're trying to get that run where we get a broken shield. Matt Hatter says, nice, yeah, I'm running a Burr Reaver trying to forge a build of my own without following others' builds, but it's providing to be a pain. Yeah, man, it's real. Like the one thing I am happy about quite a lot is one of the things I want to make a point to is to say that like this build is not made by like what do you call it, this weapon. It's helped. It's greatly helped as good AOE, but like our build is weirdly a dot build, less of a melee build. Not of a dot build. It is a melee build, but there is definitely weird things happening. Break my shield, damn you! Before you kill, come on, Jesse. The dot will kill him. Fucking shit. Let's wait to kill him like a lot until he fully depletes our shield. Axiom says, you probably need a better enchant on the bad egg. You could also try swapping back to other sigils, as the one is probably better. What do you mean? Why would the other one be better? The sigil that I have is the same as the other sigil I was using. The exact same. Same sigils. They just have different enchantments on them. And they have the same, so like nothing changed, Axiom, with the things we had. We only changed, because we have melee damage on here, and we have elemental enchant on activation of action skill. We had the reverse on our previous setup, so nothing changed damage-wise. Yeah, let's nuke our shield again. See if we can make this happen. Okay, fuck it. Let's try this. Break. There we go. All right, and wait for it. There, perfect. This probably should have. Oh, we might lose Reaper Bones. Oh, we're climbing back up. Good job, Reaper Bones. Yeah, I still don't see the better damage output. Yeah, and not to say that it's not. It's just for the build setup that I currently have, where we're using status effects and whatnot to manage. Also, I don't go by that. I think there's a lot of people that, and I think I sometimes shoot myself in the foot by not going by that. But I'm not a person that goes by like this analytical stats within stuff, because it kind of gives a lot of credence to people testing everything. And I don't think that's how that goes. I think most people test one thing and they kind of infer from that, and the numbers kind of add up in that way. But I go by like I equip stuff, go fight them. That was an increase to damage. Let's do that a couple more times, see if that was a lucky chance. It wasn't. Okay, let's invest in that. Let's pursue that. Let's see if that works out. So that's the mentality that I go by. But if we switch back to what I currently had on, which was this, increase damage that way. Also, we'll slap on this and go to, yeah. So see, everything, the same thing, except melee damage is on this and elemental activation is on that. But yes, and what am I doing? Oh, I wanted to show people that like, so we got a fast kill with that. Let's do this. Oh yeah, so this one, all this has on it is just cryo damage increase. Yeah, cryo damage increase. We also don't even benefit a lot from the pixies, or the companions, which these don't count for anyway. Weird. This. And melee. We'll eventually start stacking up damage. Granted, this one, because we have a slow melee weapon, is less good, but eventually we'll start melting them all the same, but we do not need that one weapon in order to make that happen. Eventually we'll knock him dead. Granted, again, I do think this is like, this is fine. Especially with chaos level 40 or 35. Sorry, it's acceptable. I don't think that's disgusting. Granted, there's also another melee weapon you guys can use, which I think is, in my experience, a little bit more fun. It's the one that has, well, there's two. I have one that has rampage and one that has like caustic on it. This one will do great, especially with not using the Tesla coil. But also the other one, this does good with Tesla coil as well. But this is what I'm gonna give you guys. The bonus damage on the class mod is additive with Reaper of Bones, so it's not that great. Also, the overlap blood flow cap out of 200 of the normal max HP. Also, once you get ×2 normal your health, you can't get any more. Oh, weird. Yeah, see, that seems bullshit. Why is that capped? Overflow blood bag is still really good though, because it's increases your maximum HP by 100%. It increases the amount of you heal from dark magic heal by 100% per projectile. And what is that? What is that? The blood bag? I don't know what that is. Sweet, got a volatile bad egg from a second attempt at Sploach. Nice. A kind of odd, the cursed wit is a better than bad egg for you. For me, it's nearly 1x difference. Yeah, I mean, well, we could try. I think I may have actually a different class mod that scales up melee damage, or takes melee damage and puts into ability power. We can see if that works better. Because maybe I'm not doing a fair shake, but yeah, this is the fact of having a weapon that attacks faster, because we can basically stack hyper amounts of dots, which just lets the enemy melt eventually. I think like now we can probably step back, and there's a high probability that he would die from the dot. Yeah. So we don't need in order to do good damage, we don't need the coil. Also, I don't even think our shield was broken that time. Yeah, no, so we weren't even getting the 100% damage. That was just pure damage output. So if our shield broke, we do even more damage. Let's do one more run, but I want to show you guys that with the coil this also works. But I do think that, like, for bosses, that fast hitting weapon is great because it just stacks up damage so much. But there's a lot of bosses that are floating, that are like the Wraith. It's impossible to hit her. So to have a weapon that has like longer range and like one thwap and that hits really hard, that's pretty good. Also, your Executioner's Blade will scale up, I think, better with that as well. Let's do this. Don't reload. Burn this. Okay, and now let's activate this. Please don't heal me. Melee. So yeah, see that does even more damage, because the coil, I think it's every second hit we get a proc, but we hit so fast that we're able to get to that second hit faster than we would if we had the higher base. So I don't actually think that's better damage than our big ass heavy swinging weapon. This is also not primordial. The weapon we just use is volatile. The big machete weapon, the staff spear weapon. That is actually a primordial, and that weapon we're currently using is less than that, and I think that actually had better damage. Well, maybe this is equal the same amount of damage, which is saying that if we had a primordial version of it, it'd be better. But we could try the one thing with that Axiom was saying. I think it'd be interesting to see. Where is it? We had one that had. There we go. Yeah, dark magic, perfect. We'll equip the one that has. Elemental, and then we'll equip a class mod that has converts dark. This one. We have a little bit of Stabo. We have a lot of missing perks, but we're not gaining from the current class mod that we have gives us 15, to 12 melee damage and a fire rate. So we're not getting anything from our perks, which is the one thing that can be drastically improved. Just having a decent Stabo mod with dark magic conversion. Just dark magic conversion keeps us alive. That's why we have that, because we do too much damage at this point anyway. We just need to keep ourselves cooking. A Berserker, one has all damage dealt. This one has way better stats. All damage dealt, area damage, and melee damage. So we'll try that in conjunction with the thing. Oh, that's not the right one, by the way. Oh, it's not the right one. Oh, unfortunately, we have one that's a little bit lagging behind. On Spellcast, we'll gain a melee damage thing. Unfortunate. That one? No. I guess, yeah, we have one that's a little bit, so you're like 10% off of elemental damage. So hopefully we won't see too much of a difference, but we'll see. But now that we have that mod on, that's taking all of our, I think it's our melee damage and putting it into our ability damage. Maybe this will be significantly better. We'll do this. Break, thank you. Melee. Oh, we lost Reaper Bones. Well, actually, Reaper Bones should still go until we reach until that infinity thing wears off. Yeah, I don't know if that was better or worse. I don't know. I also don't think we had more survivability. We'll try to do that again. Let's see. Well, actually, we'll switch to this. Words. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the one that we want. Primordials as well. Maybe that will end up being better. This is probably the last run, guys. Well, no, we have plenty of time. I thought it was really late. Sorry. The overflow blood bag is an amulet. Oh, I see. If you're a one-handed weapon, you might be impressed by the range those things have. No, it's good. To me, it's like, it's funny because it's auto-locking, because it has that lunge, it really makes things slower, because enemies are built away from you in general, so you do a lunge and you won't be able to benefit from like the constant slashing. Like, if anything, I think two-handed weapon should have the leap, and then one-handed weapon should not have the leap, because then you could just constantly benefit, because you don't benefit from the fast attacking if your character's like, wait for it, lunge, and then if a character keeps, like, they have a hitbox that pushes you just far enough away, then you're constantly bop, bop, rather than the just constant sea of hits, you know. Alternative, by jumping and meleeing, you can hit things much further away than you thought you could. Alternatively, you have Ragnarok. No, you don't. Axiom, my guy. I've tested all this, but I appreciate you throwing ideas at me. We've tested all this. Ragnarok sucks. There is a lot of the answers to, like, I'll show you actually right after this one test. It'll break your heart. At least it broke my heart. We'll do this. Do enough damage to where damn it. Break. There we go. This. Do we lose our no, focus on him. Bop. Bop. No, we went down. Yeah. Also, that's the nature of, like, needing your shield to break in some regard. Yeah, see, we got up. We got up because of chains. Yeah, see, it still don't seem like it's better. At least with the fast attacking one. Well, the fast attacking weapon kind of builds off of the status thing. I'll show you Axiom about the sadness. A lot of people were amazing and gave me amazing Ragnaroks, but the dot damage has just never been enough, especially when you're playing against elite enemies, because elites just get so fucking tanky and like resistant. I don't even think they're tanky. I think they're just hella resistant to certain things, like even if you're not playing on intense, which helps. But let me show you. First of all, let's go back to what we were using. Where are you? Is that right? Yes. And then this. We're going to go over to here. So I have a bunch of things to give people as well. I have a primordial version. Where is it? Primordial. Oh, this is my first, by the way, idea. Is I thought if I could get primordial versions of the Ragnarok, and if I got consecutive hits, I was wondering if the double hit would count. So yeah, we have consecutive hits on this. This is a primordial dark magic, so it's healing us. So it's useful, and also it has amp on it, which is just to say that it doesn't have vampire, any sort of like thing that can heal you or take away my shield's potency and my whole functionality of my shield. And yeah, this is kind of one of those things where, again, it's not like that it's bad, but it is kind of bad when you're like, all the damage that you guys are about to see is coming from weird things. So like if I do this is, nope. I want to show you guys first the range thing, but that shows you the crazy weird lunge thing. But if like we're hitting for nothing, despite us having a pretty good amount of scaling. But also the good news is that range tether actually does apply multiple elements. So we're doing electricity damage on there, which we shouldn't. But that's not bad. It's not the worst damage, but when you're fighting normal enemies, it's pretty bad. But anyways, when we start getting closer and we start stacking like our base hit, it's actually pretty good because they do double stack in that way. So you are double stacking elements, which is slightly good. So yeah, so that was not great. We also were using the cable machine, like the electric current machine, which is pretty big. And now if we go into the murder church, and by the way, it's not that it's bad, it's just that if you're fighting, like, elite badasses are insanely resistant. So like if you're not nuking elites here, you're not going to be nuking anything. It sucks. I wish it wasn't that way, but it seems like it is. But see, that tether is doing relatively nothing. Like the ranged, also it's really hard to just get the tether, just so that you can use the range. But granted, if we start playing melee and also our spells are keeping us alive to some extent, but also we should be healing like fucking crazy. We're doing 2 instances of dark magic damage with one of our attacks, and all of our damage is being converted to dark magic, but still we've stopped healing, which sucks, which is bullshit. Also, I don't know why. Yeah, see, like dark magic breaks so consistently. Like, why the heck are we not full health? We have a ton of efficiency. We have a ton of dark magic. I'm using the necklace. Yeah, I'm using the necklace. We still haven't reached 10k. I think we need to activate Reaper of Bones. That helps. But yeah, like right now we should be doing great. Gotta go for now, says Axiom. Yeah. Thank you so much for not by Axiom. Hopefully you have a lovely day. But yeah, like things like this. Like I was hoping that at the very least they could make a dent in these, like just apply statuses enough. Also, you see what I mean? Like we have such fast attack speed, but we're not able to dip into that because our character's like lunging constantly. So it's pointless for us to even be able to benefit from that. And again, it's whenever we contact that we're dealing a spree of damage. Let's break our fingers. But yeah, like I would love to be able to attack that person, but again, the lunge takes away the attack speed. Just let me attack. I don't want the lunge. The lunge makes it worse. Takes all the like, hey, one-handed weapons have a base faster attack speed. Well, I don't even I'm not even able to use it. Okay. Granted, it's not bad. It's like, again, whenever we're able to contact, it works. And I guess it does keep you alive a little bit. But we're also built so much for cryo damage that it should do more, you know? And yeah, we just also, regardless of whatever I do, I can't keep Reaper of Bones up, which is also kind of why I'm like, hey, by the way, I'm not putting anything. It's easy for you to switch to like the ranger alternative, which is this. But yeah. Do this. Also, man, it would be nice if we had the one that gave us our action skill cooldown. But yeah, see, even like we just hit like the basic mob and didn't kill him, even close, until we actually connected. So that's the thing that we deal damage on. So it's just like a cool aesthetic. And granted, I think I will use this in the build video because it's very Krieg. It's like you're just hucking around blood tethers everywhere, just fucking shit up, throwing around a ghost blade, this, summoning forth this, breaking everything like that. It works. It looks sick, but it's also like, I'm sorry to say that it won't work in the Chaos Chambers because it just doesn't do enough. I wish it did. Believe you me, I think this is much more of a fun way to play it, given it didn't lunge constantly. But yeah, like the main benefit from one-handed weapons is the fast attack speed, and you're not able to benefit from that because of the thread. Oh, because of the lunge. Sorry, lunge is what I meant to say. But also, yeah, it's like, to me, when people make it sound like the one big-ass polearm blade is like the best. It's the best for base damage, but it's not the best for damage. At least my experience, the gain that you get from going Stabbomancer and hyper stacking elements by having a fast attack speed is pretty damn good. Granted, if this is a big if they change this weapon to no longer lock on, like do the lunge, and if they change it so that the melee thread, like it's lost on me why the melee, this whole gimmick of the weapon is that not only does it apply like a spike into the enemy that apparently explodes, I think that's broken, that's not working, but also it does like it's a range gimmick. That's the whole thing. So the fact that you're not able to that's not like doing the same damage as your based hit is just lost on me, because you need, like, it's not like enemies from a long range are less tanky. It's like you still need to do damage to those elite Bloodwing type things. So to me, it's again, I'm hoping dearly that those get reworked, or not even reworked, just applied base scaling. Honestly, like a good, just quick patch would just to allow the base hit that we hit for to be applied to its range projectile in equal form, rather than it being clearly nerfed, like hard nerfed. And it's like, I don't know why it's nerfed. It's not like there's not guns that blitzkrieg things at a range that have no range drop off. Like it's just nothing. Like, why is this good? This range damage that supersedes this melee damage, even outside of spell shot weirdness, but the melee people are doing less damage and need to hyper invest in a bunch more weird things like coiling of a melee weapon, etc. Like, how does to me, again, I love Gearbox. I'm actually a big fan, but I think like this was not like they have no playtester ever, because playtesters would be able to play it and be like, this is not balanced. This doesn't make any sense. Why is like a lot of things in the game to me, I'm thinking, I feel like there are like a lot of cool ideas, but nobody play tested them and like QA tested them to be like, this is what players will do. This is why this doesn't make sense because it's operating in this way, you know. And again, I'm still very much enjoying the game. I just feel like melee is in such a weird place. And I've always heard people say that like melee is like lower damage. Melee, you can get a lot of good damage, actually, but it's just that the things are like clunky in such a way that, and also, to me, I think that if you just took off one of the restraints, we would be pretty okay. Like melee, we would have an answer, because all you really need is one answer, and hopefully in the future with DLC, with maybe just an event, you'll give people more answers. Like I think that was the problem with Face Puncher, and I think it's still it shocks me that we still don't have a really good ranged projectile weapon. I think maybe Swordsplosion counts, but even still, it's not a good answer. Swordsplosion has weird lag. You have to hyperstack bullets, so when you get in a fight for life, it's kind of a pain in the ass to stack a bunch of knives into somebody and detonate them. You need something that can like instantly hit melee and get your ass up. And I don't know why they haven't introduced that yet. Because it's not like melee, like you have two classes that are fundamentally very much pivoting on melee. So why is melee not built? You also have a new engine that has melee built in, a ton of different manufacturers. How is this undersought? How is this an underside? Like, even if you just have a basic person, you should be able to, not like a playtester, just like a basic person who's like, hey, these are the problems that melee people are having, and there's no solution for them that is a good solution. There's Executioner's Blade, but that weirdly isn't even a solution because it's a chance on a chance, and the only way that we've been seeing our community use that chance is by detonating that chance a million times, and yet they buffed that. And it's like, you could have buffed the chance, that way at least, but also you needed to buff the damage too, because it wasn't hitting at Chaos level 35 really to an extent in which was reasonable or desired, I guess. But, sorry, I talk fast. But, yes, I don't know. To me, I'm hoping that, like, again, I think the lesson for Face Puncher, that's what I was trying to say. I think the lesson for Face Puncher was not to not have a Face Puncher, it was to have more weapons that scale off of different things that builds use. Again, I'm hoping that Gearbox, if I could ever talk to one of the employees, that'd be the one thing I would say, that does so much for your game. Like, you have no idea how fun it was and how amazing it was to find pixies, and for so many people to have that experience, and to be like, holy shit, you're just scaling on things I'm already building for, and that makes the weapon intrinsically good, especially for me. Like, again, the fact that there's no weapon that scales off of gun damage and melee damage, or spell damage and companion damage, or ability damage. That way you could have, like, you could build out ability damage and not feel like you're just fucking neutered whenever you're on cooldown. Yeah, so, I don't know. To me, I think, boy. Boy. Fluff says that something COVID, something working from home. Maybe, man. I don't think, if anything, I feel like QA testers are not like, you don't need them to be in the office. You just need them to listen to them. And you to, like, ideally you would, honestly, QA testers, I think would be like peak, like, at home bullshit. Like, get a guy who's good about, like, deeply understanding a community, understanding, like, looking at the past actions of the community and seeing what they would do, seeing the mechanics in the game and understanding them, and then understanding how people would leverage them, then using them, and then also having a quick, like, Skype call or something and being like, hey, this is the thing. These are the reasons why this doesn't make sense. You have a melee build, you have melee classes, but in the game, you have forced people to do ranged combat. You've given us one skill called Executioner's Blade, but sir, you have to have a special kind of weapon to detonate those things, and even still, it isn't enough to deal with the ranged enemies. It's kind of like a shitty answer to a ranged problem, where you're actually like shooting a bunch of bullets at an enemy, hoping to dear God that you can get a fucking weird ghost ethereal blade to stab into them, only to realize there's like 60 fucking swords stabbed into them, and it's like we need 4 more swords to embed in this son of a bitch, just to be able to knock him dead. Yeah, fucking what? You know, like, Christ. Fluff says, is likely their excuse for lack of QA testing. Yeah, I know. A lot of people use the COVID tab, but again, there's some things that COVID things don't make sense for. Like, again, I think that's, QA testing is not something that you need someone to be right on top of you for. I think you just need to have an understanding of what they're saying, what the problem is. Fluff says also, Stabbo has at least 2 methods of guaranteed crit. The stealth action skill and the passive that guarantees melee crits. Melee does a crit. So that's one of the main ways to proc Executioner's Blade. Yeah, but it's not that you can't, like, there's definitely ways to detonate Executioner's Blade. Hundo P. But Fluff, the problem is that what happens when you do detonate an Executioner's Blade? doesn't nuke a wyvern. The wyvern's still fucking up there. It doesn't do enough damage. Like if it's scaled, sorry, my dog is popping up. If it's scaled perfectly off of like your existing melee damage, so like the melee damage that you actually deal at melee, you have like a small chance of actually doing that to a ranged enemy, then that would work. But it doesn't do that, man. You need, and again, the only way that it kind of works is if you hyper stack Executioner's Blade. Like you shoot a probe into them that's hitting 1,000 times, critting 1 billion times, constantly keeping that on cooldown, because it does look like there is a cooldown. And you're kind of cooking a little bit, you know. What's good? Zachary says, hey, just found your YouTube. Oh, thanks. Cause I just got really into Let It Die. I know it's a bit old, but there's just something about it. You miss it? I don't miss it personally. I'm more excited for the future, Zachary. They're currently working on a game called Deathverse that I want to make a video talking about. But yeah, I think I love my experience with Let It Die. But yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying the videos though. Hopefully, eventually I can cover Deathverse on this channel and make some other content for you that you might enjoy. But hopefully you enjoy the streaming content in the meantime. Which is exactly why Moxie's Volt Viper 2.0 used it. Oh, you mean the melee probe? The melee probe? Because yeah, to me, I haven't Fluff. I know you've been testing out melee builds. How is his? I haven't tested the one yet because I feel like a little bit scummy. I feel like I'll be like preaching weird things. But what do you call it? Have you tested his one that like you go invisible and then you hit and then you like detonate really hard? I just feel like maybe he has a ton of built-in cooldown, but I'm curious about how he gets to his action, how he gets in a cloak, and maybe he has a weapon that has a cooldown on action skill when melee contacts. So maybe that's a way that he can kind of like shave off of his downtime, because that's the one thing I feel like his build worked great. And honestly, yeah, now that I think about it, the main thing that was killing us was insane, playing on insane difficulty. Granted, in his video, I don't think he mentions that you need to play not on insane, so I don't know. But maybe that's a given. Maybe I'm just the idiot. Totally the case. But yeah, speaking of Moxie, I think he posted a new Clawbringer build that I have to check out. Although I'm pretty happy with the Hammer Zerker so far. Yeah, what do you call it? Well, I'm not sure if it's a Clawbringer build. It is a Clawbringer build, but it's more of a status build. It's like he's using Clawbringer in combination with Stabbomancer, and Stabbomancer has something called Contagion. So multiple procs detonate Contagion, which melts things. But it is, if you like a build that's like instantly rewarding, it seems like there's that time when you're like hitting an enemy and you're like bop, 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 whoosh, and you'll just nuke them. But sometimes it takes like a lot of bop, which is why I got turned off by Berserker. Berserker to me, I hated the feeling of like hit, fail, hit, fail, hit, fail. God damn it, you know. Which I like revving up more, which is definitely Stabbo, which is why I like that one more. Fluff says, so I only adapted this gear into what works for me. That's nice. It's Clawbringer build, which is pretty much status. But yes, the status supremacy. Yeah. Well, it's less stat. Well, it is status, but I think it mainly uses one skill that I think is acting a little out of alignment. Like it's doing billions of damage unintentionally when it just kind of stacks in. It's kind of like Bloodsplosion. Or whatever Krieg's thing was. Yeah, Bloodsplosion. Where it just kind of double detonated and kept ramping off of each other and all that, which was fun. But ladies and gentlemen, I have to leave you. Also, my brother's here. He probably wants to talk my ear off, so I gotta be away from you for a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, there is a video coming out right now over on the Share Your Grin channel. If you go to the description down below, it will take you to our new anime media kind of Share Your Grin channel. I basically watched an anime and I want to talk your ear off about it. That's what the basis of the show is. Later we'll make videos that actually talk about what the show is generally, and we'll build off of that. But yeah, hopefully you enjoy me rambling about some anime that I thought was interesting. If it's not your thing, then don't subscribe to the channel. Do not go there, because that's what it is. But thank you so much for hearing me out. I am off to go edit some more. Ideally this build. Thank you so much for sticking with me. Sorry about my dogs popping off so much right now. Thank you kindly, and goodbye, my friends.